Are you the kind of person who would rather walk home in a pouring thunderstorm than call someone for a ride? When you move to a new apartment, would you rather risk throwing out your back carrying the sofa alone than owe a friend a favor? When you are struggling, is the most common reaction from your friends, "Wow, I had no idea you were going through that. You always seem so put together." You wear phrases like, "I've got this," "I don't need anything," and "I'll do it myself," like a badge of honor. In your dictionary, asking for help is synonymous with weakness, or even worse, shame. Society loves to label people like you as strong, low maintenance, or independent. But psychology has a different, more heartbreaking definition for this behavior. It isn't resilience. It is hyper-independence, or to use the technical term, counterdependency. Please stay with me until the end, because this video is going to tell you a hard truth. Your independence might not be a sign of power. It might be a sign that, deep down, you are terrified of trusting anyone. You don't love solitude. You just fear disappointment more than you crave connection. Point number 1. Hyper-independence is actually learned mistrust. We need to distinguish between healthy independence and trauma-based independence. Healthy independence says, "I can do this alone, but I can also let you help me." Hyper-independence says, "I must do this alone, because relying on others is dangerous." This mindset almost always stems from childhood. Think back. When you were small, when you cried, fell down, or needed comfort, where were your caregivers? If your cries for help were met with neglect, ridicule, or just silence, your brain learned a brutal survival rule. No one is coming to save me. For some, it was even worse. You were shamed for having needs. You were told, "Don't be a burden," or "You're the oldest, be responsible." So you learned to swallow your needs. You realized that the only way to be safe was to be low maintenance. You became an army of one. Point number 2. You view relationships as transactions. For the hyper-independent person, generosity feels like a trap. If someone buys you dinner, do you feel an urgent, anxious need to pay them back immediately? Why? It's about control. You believe that every favor comes with a price tag. You are terrified that if you accept help, you lose your autonomy. You fear that the moment you owe someone, they own a piece of you. Psychologists link this to avoidant attachment. You keep people at arm's length to maintain a sense of control. You build a fortress that is impenetrable. It keeps you safe from being hurt, yes, but it also keeps you completely isolated. You are safe, but you are starving for connection. Point number 3. The physical cost of being a one-person army. Living this way is expensive. Your nervous system is paying the bill. When you feel like you can't rely on anyone, your body stays in a chronic state of fight or flight. You are hyper-vigilant, always scanning for threats, always ready to handle the next crisis alone. This is why so many strong people suddenly crash in their 30s or 40s with chronic fatigue, autoimmune issues, or severe burnout. Your body is finally screaming what your mouth refused to say. "I cannot carry this weight alone anymore." So how do we break this curse? Healing hyper-independence doesn't mean becoming needy. It means trying exposure therapy for trust. You need to practice taking tiny, low-stakes risks. Ask a friend to hold your jacket while you tie your shoe. Ask a coworker to borrow a pen. When you are having a bad day, try saying just one sentence, "I'm actually really tired today," instead of faking a smile. When you do this, and the other person doesn't attack you, doesn't mock you, and doesn't try to control you, your brain gets a new piece of data. It learns, "Look, I asked for help and I survived. I am safe." Remember, real strength isn't about being a stone wall that never cracks. Real strength is like water. It can flow alone, but it can also merge with the ocean. Allowing yourself to be supported isn't weakness. It is the final, most courageous step of growing up, admitting that you are human. If you are the person who always says, "I'm fine, I'll do it myself," Leave a specific emoji in the comments, maybe a shield or a hug. Let's take the armor off, just for today. I'll see you in the next one.